If you've ever looked at a student essay and thought, there are a lot of words here, but no real thinking, you are not alone. Today, I'm showing you the first writing skill that we always tell our EB teachers to teach in August. This is the one that sets the tone for everything that your students will not only write, but how they'll converse and have all kinds of discussions in class all year long. Now, most teachers don't start the year with this one extremely important writing approach and the accompanying skills. But without these skills, students are going to struggle to make a point, to back it up, or to explain their thinking all year long, no matter how great your writing prompts are. Instead, at EB, we coach our teachers to focus on one essential structure, and that's what we call the EBW approach. Now, EBW stands for evidence-based writing. Even EB academic stands for evidence-based academics. And evidence-based writing should be the backbone of everything that you teach in your writing or your ELA classroom. Now, the EBW approach asks students to formulate claims, premises, evidence, justification, all of the good stuff that's a part of the standards. And when students master this, they can then write with purpose in any other genre. This carries over into argumentative, persuasive, compare and contrast, so many writing styles. And yes, even those tricky state test prompts that give students 5 different articles to analyze, it works there too. So I'm going to share a super simple activity that you can use to introduce this concept any time of the year, preferably at back to school time, but any time of the year works. But then also I'm going to show you how we structure an entire unit for EBW. So you can see exactly how much time we allot to each element of the EBW approach and how we break it down. So this is one of those things where when we're teaching it, we're going to slow down now in order to speed up later. So we're gonna start by talking about the mystery story, and this is all free in the description of this video. We created a free resource for you for this. So here's how we make that first lesson for EBW, not just effective, but extremely memorable. So we launch EBW with a student favorite, which is called The Case of the Stolen Pearls. Now, this is a mystery-based activity that really hooks students from that very first sentence. Students take on the role of detectives, they form agencies with their classmates, and they try to solve a theft. But here's the twist. To make their case, they have to use all of the components of the EBW approach, right? They're going to identify claim, right? Who they think stole the necklace. They're going to come up with premises, which are reasons. They're going to cite evidence from the story. And most importantly, they're going to practice a 2-sentence justification strategy that we teach at EB that connects all of it together. And we call these like game-changing sentences when it comes to justification. So sentence 1, we teach our students to connect back to the premise, back to their reason. And the second sentence of their justification ties everything back to the claim, right? So they're actually answering the prompt. So by the end, your students are writing an entire argumentative paragraph, but they just think they're solving a case, right? And you just laid the foundation for everything else that you're going to teach in writing this year. So that's the activity that you want to start your year with. And that's what I'm giving you for free. So you can go ahead and implement that in your classroom. Again, you can teach it at any time, but beginning of the year is best. So now I want to talk about how we pace out the entire EBW approach and why this matters. So what you're looking at on your screen is the actual structure that we use with our EB teachers inside of our membership, the EB Teachers ELA Portal. Now in week 1, you'll see that the entire focus is on the introductory paragraph. We slow it way down, introducing tag, teaching students to write a strong claim, showing them how to summarize effectively, before they ever sit down to write a full introductory paragraph. Then in week 2, we shift to the body paragraphs. This is where students learn what a premise is, how to find strong evidence from the text, how to justify their thinking in a way that is clear and purposeful. Then in week 3, we help them pull it all together with a powerful conclusion. We talk about restating the claim, summarizing their points, and ending with what we call a mic drop sentence. Now, you could absolutely build this kind of structure into your own classroom, right? You know your students best. But if you're short on time or you don't feel confident teaching writing or you just want a clear path to follow, this full pacing and all of the ready-to-use resources are all inside of our membership. And it's one of the reasons that so many of our teachers say, oh my gosh, I finally feel confident teaching writing because of this approach. It's almost like this approach teaches our teachers how to write themselves so then they can translate it over into their students. So if you want to try this approach in your own classroom, definitely go grab that free unit that I'm giving you, The Case of the Stolen Pearls. It's that complete lesson that you can use during back to school, honestly, anytime, totally fine, any time of the year. And what it'll do is it'll give them meaningful, fun practice with claims, evidence, justification. And you might be surprised that your students will say that is the most fun that they've ever had writing a paragraph. In fact, they're probably not even going to realize that they wrote a paragraph. And if you love the structure and the support that this EBW approach provides, then be sure to add your name to the priority list for the EB Teachers ELA Portal. That way, the next time we open enrollment, you will be the first to know and the first in line to get access to everything that we've built to help you teach writing successfully.